This video is a production of the League of Women Voters of Bucks County, a volunteer, nonpartisan political organization. We do not endorse candidates or parties. Our mission is to empower you, the voter, to exercise your constitutional right to vote. This year we have a lot of new laws modifying how we can register and vote, and here in Bucks County we will have a new voting system. The League wants to ensure that you, the voter, knows what to expect in April and November. This year and in all presidential election years, the primary election day is the fourth Tuesday in April, the 28th of April. If you aren't sure if you are registered or if you want to make any changes to your registration, these websites can help you. All you need to do is enter your home address and follow the instructions to check or change your registration information. Or you can phone the Board of Elections for information on registration. You can register or make corrections to your registration anytime before April 13th. In addition to online registration, you can pick up a voter registration application at any post office, wine and spirit shop, municipal building, or library. If you cannot get to the polls this year, you can apply for an absentee or mail-in ballot. Absentee ballots require an excuse, and the options are listed on the application. But this year, for the first time, Pennsylvanians can vote by mail, and no excuse is required. In either case, you must request a ballot, and this request must be received by the Board of Elections by 5 p.m. on the Tuesday before the election. You may also request one online at votespa.com. The Board of Elections must receive your ballot, either mail-in or absentee, by 8 p.m. on Election Day. You can either mail it, allowing at least 10 days, or you can hand deliver your own ballot directly to the Board of Elections at the Bucks County Administration Building by 8 p.m. on Election Day. It is also possible to vote in person at the Board of Elections prior to the absentee ballot deadline. And for the first time, any voter may ask to be placed on a permanent mail-in or absentee voter list. If you are on either of these lists, an absentee or mail-in ballot application will be automatically mailed to you by the first Monday in February every year. Upon receipt of your application, the county will send you ballots in the mail for all the elections that take place that year. You must submit the ballot application every year to remain on the list. And the biggest change you will see in 2020 is the introduction of a new, more secure voting system in the county. We will be voting using hand-marked paper ballots, which will be read by electronic scanning devices. The county has scheduled a series of training programs around the county at which you can see and try out the new machines prior to the primary election. This information is on the Board of Elections website. Please check the Board of Elections website to confirm whether these events will be held this spring. The machines will also be available to see at the County Administration Building in Doylestown on the days the commissioners hold their meetings there. Check the website for those dates as well. So what should you expect at the polls? As in the past, on arrival at your polling place, you check in with a poll worker who verifies your registration and you sign in. Pennsylvania does not require a voter ID at the polls. However, the first time you go to a new polling place, you need to show either your voter registration card or a paper record with your name and address, such as a bill or a driver's license. Once you are signed in, poll workers will give you the appropriate ballot. In the primary, you will receive either a Republican or a Democratic ballot, depending upon your registration. If there is a ballot issue in your area, a third ballot with the initiative will be available for those registered as independents. You will also receive a pen for completing the ballot and a manila envelope for concealing your completed ballot. You may use your own pen as long as it is a regular ballpoint pen and not felt tip or a gel pen. Pens and manila folders will be collected when you have finished voting as you exit the polling place. You will take your ballot, folder, and pen to a table which will have multiple three-sided privacy screens where you can mark your ballot privately. To mark your ballot, you simply fill in the oval to the left of the name of the candidate of your choice. To vote for a write-in candidate, fill in the oval next to Write-in and write the name in the space allowed. No stickers can be used. Be careful to check both sides of the ballot to be sure you vote in all races. If you make a mistake or you wish to change your vote, a poll worker will give you a new ballot and the old ballot will be marked spoiled and placed in a secure box. If the font on the ballot is hard to read, you can ask to use a magnifying sheet while you fill in the ballot. Each polling place will have 2 of these. Another of the new laws this year is that there will no longer be a shortcut, straight party option to vote for all candidates of one party. However, this does not prevent you from selecting only candidates from one party, one by one, as you vote. You are not allowed to use stickers or paste on labels for write-in candidates because the ballot scanning machines cannot read them and may become jammed. The names must be handwritten or stamped on the ballot and the oval next to the name filled out. Having completed your ballot and checking it over on both sides, place it in the manila folder and take it and the pen to one of the 2 scanners at the polling place. Follow the prompts on the screen and feed the ballot into the machine, retaining the folder. If you mistakenly overvoted, meaning you voted for too many candidates in any one race, your ballot will be returned to you and you can choose to get a fresh ballot and correct the overvote, or submit the ballot as is, in which case the overvoted race from your ballot will not be counted. You will not be notified if you undervoted or failed to vote in a race. After the polls close, the scanners at each polling place will provide a summary to the Board of Elections, and these will be used for the initial results. When you feed the ballot into the scanner, it will make a digital copy of it, and the actual paper ballots will drop into a secure box attached to the scanner. All of the paper ballots will be delivered to the Board of Elections and retained for 2 years for presidential elections. They will be retained for 1 year for all other elections. In the case of an election audit or recount, your original paper ballot will be used. In this way, we can be sure that each voter's original intent is counted. This ballot, the one you actually marked with a pen on election day, will be retained for use in any subsequent audits or recounts. What about the ballots that were mailed? A tabulation system at the Board of Elections will be used to count absentee, mail-in, overseas, and military ballots. Unlike previous elections, these will not be counted at individual polling places. The final count, including all mailed ballots, may not be complete until a day or more after the election, so don't expect final results on election night or even on the next day. This year, because there may be an unusually large number of mail-in ballots, results may take a while to be totaled. So why should we change the system we have used for so many years? The state has mandated that old unverifiable systems be replaced, and the system used in Bucks County was not verifiable. Hand-marked paper ballots are considered the safest way of ensuring that voters' intent is recorded and counted accurately. Electronic machines can be tampered with or have mechanical problems, which could result in an incorrect count. This is even true of the electronic scanners being used with paper ballots. However, because the actual paper ballot is retained, an audit can detect the error and a recount be taken if necessary. Our old machines did not have that capability. What do you do if you go to the polling place and your name is not in the poll book? You should ask to speak with the judge of elections, who is the person in charge. The judge of elections has the final word. If you are in the wrong polling place, you can leave and go to the correct one. Or the judge of elections can phone the Board of Elections to resolve the issue. In the case of other confusion, you have the right to a provisional ballot if you are challenged. If you are sent an absentee or mail-in ballot and the county receives your voted ballot by the deadline, which is any time before 8 p.m. on election day, you may not vote at your polling place. Your vote is considered final at that point. However, if you requested a mail-in ballot and did not use it, or you mailed your ballot too late, or you may not be sure whether the county received your voted ballot in time, you may be able to vote a provisional ballot at your polling place. You may phone the Board of Elections to confirm that your ballot arrived. If you were sent a mail-in ballot, but your polling place has no record of having received it, you may vote by provisional ballot. However, if the county does receive your voted mail-in ballot in time, that original ballot, not your provisional ballot, will be counted. Remember, you may always return your own absentee or mail-in ballot at the County Board of Elections office in Doylestown any time before 8 p.m. on election day. You may not return your spouse's or anyone else's ballot. What if you cannot read or mark the ballot due to a disability? You will have the option to use an in-person ballot marking device. Each polling place will have one ballot marking device available. This will allow you to mark the ballot on a touchscreen or with accessible input devices. The device will then print a paper ballot that will be scanned at the polling place, just like the hand-marked ballots. This year and every year, it is a good idea to plan your trip to the polls in advance. Schedule it like you would any other appointment. Use your paper calendar or online scheduler and schedule it at a specific time. And take a neighbor. This primary election will not just be for the office of the President. We will also be voting for members of the U.S. House of Representatives, the Pennsylvania General Assembly and Senate, and for the State Auditor General. As a nonpartisan organization, the League of Women Voters does not endorse parties or candidates. However, we can help you educate yourself about how to make good decisions. Here are a few excellent additional sources of information when choosing a candidate. The League of Women Voters puts together nonpartisan voter guides where you can compare candidates side by side because each candidate is asked the same questions. The Bucks County Herald publishes our voters guide the Thursday before the election. Or you can find this information on the League of Women Voters election website, Vote 411. All you need to do is enter your address and you will be given a list of the candidates on your ballot. For each race, you will receive general background information about each candidate and their responses to our questions. Moreover, every candidate has a website where his or her platform is detailed for all issues. For the various candidates, follow their campaign performance and study their policy platform and proposals. If they have one, subscribe to their newsletter or newsfeed and follow them on social media. While it is likely that no single candidate will totally match your views, consider which person would best exercise the duties of the office. If you believe in keeping our democracy, you need to vote for the candidate who you think reflects your values and has the character and ability to do the best job. If you can't get to the polls or would rather vote from home, please apply for a mail-in ballot by Tuesday, April 21st and vote. As Franklin Roosevelt said, nobody will ever deprive the American people of the right to vote except the American people themselves, and the only way they could do this is by not voting.